This week on R/2X chromosomes.
I have crippling depression.
Stay till the end to find out what happens when the overweight girl at the gym. My boyfriend died today and I don't know what to do.
You are fake news.
Yesterday we went last-minute Christmas shopping and before we left he said that his chest hurt. I asked him if it was more sore or stabbing and he said the former, so I thought nothing of it. This morning he collapsed in the bathroom. An ambulance came and brought him to the nearest hospital. The moment I parked my car, his mum called to tell me that he died. The doctor told me he had a weak pulse when they got to his house, that they tried so long to resuscitate him, that nothing worked, and how he's been shipped off to the county coroner's office because they are not sure how he died. This is the man I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, have children and a wonderful home with. I don't know if I'll be able to recover from this. My grandfather who raised me passed away. Being black and poor and born in the 20s, he couldn't become an engineer like he dreamed of. I just got accepted into engineering school.
Catch me outside, how about that?
My grandfather was born in Louisiana in 1922. He fought in World War II, raised a family of 12, and he raised me when my parents were killed. He inspired a love of tinkering in me. He would buy me little clocks or watches and help me take them apart and put them back together. He passed away in 2012 after a very long and very eventful life. Today I was accepted into engineering school. I didn't even see it coming. I called the school just to set up the chat with an advisor. I don't really know too much about how college works, so when I'd heard online that you had to be accepted into engineering school, I assumed I'd need to take some preliminary classes or something. Much to my surprise, after a long hold on the phone, the lady came back and said I was eligible for engineering school. I was so stunned I had to ask her again just to be sure. I'm sorry, did you say eligible or ineligible? I could cry. You'd be so proud to know I'm going to be an engineer. I wish I could have made it before he died.
Catch me outside, how about that?
My neighbor asked me to stop jogging because her son was watching. I don't jog often, I don't even like running, but last night while walking my dog, I needed to get home before being eaten alive by mosquitoes. I ran up one side of a cul-de-sac, and by the time I reached the end, a woman was standing in the yard, watching me. I didn't think much of it. It's summer and kids are out playing, so parents are usually nearby. Then she waved. I waved back, and when she motioned me into her yard, I assumed it was so she could ask to pet my dog or something like that. No, instead she told me that I should be more conscious when running, because I'm big-chested. I honestly didn't know what to say. She said that I was distracting her son, that running might feel good, but men would notice and that's not the kind of attention you want. I walked the rest of the way home after saying nothing to set her straight and feeling stupid. I've been a size D since I was 15, and wore baggy clothing 4 years after I heard a boy say, "Did you see her tits bounce?" It's the first thing that people notice about me, and it never fails to upset me that I'm at fault for other people ogling me. I still don't know what to say to her, but I'm 20 years old, she's not my mom, and she can't tell me to stop running, so I won't. Please, please, please God, vaccinate your kids.
Be gone!
I'm sitting alone drinking too much again and just need to get this off my chest. 3 years ago I had a baby girl, her name was Emily, and I loved her more than anything in this entire fricked up world. She was a mistake and I'd only been getting my shit together when I found out I was going to have her. I spent a long time thinking over whether or not I should have or just abort her, because I wasn't bringing her into a good place. But in the end I planned things out and did everything to make sure I could afford her and we wouldn't be living in poverty. I did everything I could for my baby with doctor's visits and medicine and working a shit retail job at 8 months pregnant all by myself just so I could bring some happiness into my life. She was born in October and was so beautiful. I'd messed up a few things in my life, but I wasn't going to mess up with her if I could help it. Then when she was 8 months old, too young yet for and missed a shot, she got sick. She was sick for a while and I'd never seen anything like it. I took her to the doctor. She was in the hospital and she looked so bad, she was crying and coughing and there was nothing I could do. I felt like the worst mother in the world. After I got her to the hospital she got worse, got something called measles encephalitis, where her brain was inflamed. I hadn't believed in God in years, but you better believe I was praying for her every day. She died in the hospital a week or so later. I held her little tiny body and wanted to jump off a bridge and broke down in the hospital. The nurses were sympathetic and I made a scene I'm pretty sure. I found out later via Facebook of freaking course that the neighbor I'd had watch my baby was an anti-vaxxer and had posted photos of her kid sick and other bullshit about how he was fine. He was fine. He was fine. My kid was dead because she made the choice. I went over and talked to her and she admitted he'd been sick when she'd had my kid last, but didn't think much of it. I screamed at her. I screamed and yelled and told her that Evil was going to torture her soul for eternity, you God-loving cunt, because she took my baby from me. I'm sure I looked crazy. At the time maybe I was. I'm crying writing this now, and in my darkest moments I'd wished her kid was dead and it makes me feel worse. I'd like to say I'm doing better, but I'm really not. I'm alive, going day to day, trying to be the person I wanted to be for my kid even if my little Emily isn't here anymore. That's the only thing keeping me going anymore. I don't have anything else left. Please vaccinate your kids, so other moms like me don't have to watch their baby die. It's not just your choice only affecting your kid, you are putting every child who for some reason hasn't gotten vaccinated in so much danger. Please, 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 for the love of God, please vaccinate.
Be gone!
Thank you to the guy on Subway who could read my body language.
Be gone!
I got on the one train here, and a man got on after me. This happens everywhere. I had my keys between my hands, but barely noticeable, because this guy has been standing behind me the whole 6 minutes I waited for the train, calling me baby etc. I sat down and he sat over me holding the bar, and I felt so anxious like throwing up, so I stood up near a bunch of other people holding the rail. Then this guy says to me, "Hey Lauren, you going to Jeff's dinner party too?" I was confused for a sec, because he was staring at me and my name isn't Lauren. It took me like 10 seconds to even realize what he was doing. I said yeah, and he said perfect timing, we can walk together. What stop were you going to get off on? And I told him. Then he says, look what Jeff texted me, and handed me the notes app which had "Are you okay?" and he kind of moved aside so I could write in it. I told him this guy was following me. He ended up getting off my stop with me and walked me all the way to my friend's apartment, when he was supposed to get off at 103. The guy soon left, mostly because this guy was way bigger than him, thankfully. I have never been in a spot like that, and I always told myself what I do in a situation like that, but I just froze and shut down. I am so thankful men like him are out there and aware of situations like that. In New York most people really keep to themselves, so thank you very much, Michael. Wherever you are, I am sorry I made you late, but you were like my guardian angel.
Do it!
The overweight girl at the gym.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
I'm a fat girl. This is my first week at the gym, and every night after work, the same 3 girls are there. Today I found out they have been Snapchatting pictures of me and making fun of me, but I don't mind. I'm glad that you haven't gone through what I've been through. I used to be in shape. I broke my hip and had to give up all exercise. Then my grandma got sick and I took care of her full time. I couldn't leave her alone because I had no help, so I gained more weight. Then she died, and I ate my feelings and gained more weight. Now I'm a size 22. I don't hate myself or my body. I love who I am, and that took me my entire life to be able to honestly say those words. I love myself. It really sucks that society and your parents raised you that it was okay to try to hurt someone that's trying to better themselves, instead of trying to lift them up. But I'm not mad. Thank you for reminding me to keep pushing after I had a really long day. In a month when the New Year shit has worn off, I'm still going to be dieting and working my ass off at the gym every day. It's not so you, or anyone else, will accept me. It's for me. I hope anyone else, who feels ugly or is overweight and has decided to make a life change will keep going. Forget the skinny girls who laugh at you, or the muscly men that tell you you're gross. Love yourself. Let's teach love. Today's world needs it. Red Heart.
Catch me outside, how about that?